Welcome, everyone, to the Tuesday edition of Minions at the Zoo. I'm your keeper this evening, Skep. Talking with me, I have Minions Prospero.
Hello.
And the Hairy Channel.
More like the Sleepy Channel.
I feel that, brother. We may be joined later by a surprise guest, I'm hoping so, but don't want to get your hopes up, so we'll just keep it secret for now.
Is it the ghost of Thurgood Marshall?
It could be. Probably not, but it could be.
Is it anybody's ghost?
Do we ever really know that for sure?
Well, I just want to know, are we dealing with the living or some historical figure that she made some sort of deal to bring back?
That's a great point. And, you know, I'm sitting here realizing I don't know. I've never met this person. They could be dead. But when I talked to him earlier this evening, he sounded alive. No, it's Johnny may come by.
Okay. Well, I told you when I was a kid.
And he sounded alive.
One of my favorite books was this history book by a guy named Heinrich Wilhelm van Loon, which is Van Loon's Lives. Do you recall me telling you about this?
Yeah, I remember Van Loon's Lives.
Man, that's like the best book to, like, you know, hand a kid to learn about history. Because the premise was basically that he could, through a device, he could put the names of people on a piece of paper.
That's the story of mankind, right?
No. This is a different book, same author. And so he could invite people over to dinner. And so when he was preparing for this dinner, he'd talk about, like, essentially how they'd live, what common people would eat and what they'd wear and all that sort of stuff. And he'd try to figure out what kind of food and wine and drink would be compatible with their 1,000-year-old dead taste buds and stuff. It was a very interesting book for a kid.
Interesting.
Though I digress. Hi, Prospero.
Hello. I'm trying to find something, so that's why I'm a tad.
What other association do I have with Van Loon? Oh,
you probably lived near his house when you were a kid in Europe or something.
I did. No, I did.
Exactly.
Van Loon is a very, very common Wallonic name. I lived in Wallonia, that part of Belgium. I was thinking, the Van Loons, didn't they live down the street? And I just realized that was a name of a neighbor. Lived about 5 houses down the street, was the Van Loon household.
There you go.
It's a very common Flemish-derived name, and all the upper crust Flemings who lived in Wallonia. Well, it gets complicated. Never mind. It's not very interesting.
Yeah.
But there's two kinds of people who live in Belgium: people who speak Flemish, people who speak French. And back in 1961, the people with all the money spoke Flemish. they were the Dutch people, and the impoverished French francophones were the ones who had, I hate to say it, the collaborators were the Flemish, and the loyalists were the French speakers. Just saying.
Were they all descended from the Dutch slave trading enablers?
Absolutely. The Dutch mercenaries, the Flemish mercenaries. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, the Netherlands, the Dutch were a big supplier of mercenaries to the English combatants during the time of the War of the Roses. Prospero will back me up. Then until Waterloo, there were Flemish soldiers of fortune, and that was a thing there. It was it was like hundreds of years of tradition. Yeah, there's a lot of information about that. But the Flemish mercenaries were feared for hundreds of years. Interestingly enough, but why are you talking about Flemish-speaking people in Belgium?
Because I derailed your show about 10 seconds into it. So what have you got for us tonight, Skep?
Well, I present you with the world every week, and I expect you to do the hard lifting because I'm retired. But seriously, welcome to the retired screen, ladies and gentlemen. The world gets crazier and crazier. I noticed a video the other day, and it says, "Is it me, or has something fundamental changed?" And there are a lot of these videos coming out right now. And I realized that there is fundamental change all the time, but there are cycles of change where the fundamental changes develop a resident momentum or emotion really of their own. And I think we're having a crust of a bunch of those major changes right now. We're seeing some very interesting things. We've gamed money. Everybody wants money. And so you know what we did? We made more of the money. You know, that's how stupid we have become. How stupid have we become? The city of Newark got conned by a con man who better be conned by.
Was it KAHN or CON?
No, listen to this. This is absolutely unbelievable.
Okay.
And signed a city sistership agreement with a mythical imaginary country that a hoaxster put up.
Were they going to build a monorail between there and the mythical country?
I watched the city council proceedings, and the hoaxster had dressed up. What was it, Kylonia or something like that? And they had priestesses. It was a Hindu nation. They described themselves. Listen to this. As a Hindu island off the coast of Ecuador.
Oh,
let that sink in for a moment.
Because that
nobody
sense.
Googled that.
It has sunk. Well, hold on. Which Newark are we talking about? New Jersey or California? I just want to know who to laugh at.
New Jersey. Yeah,
okay.
Because Newark, California, I'd be going so.
Well,
yeah.
You know, but there's a third.
But Newark, New Jersey. Yes.
There's a third one, by the way, Harry.
Oh,
there's in Delaware, but it's pronounced Newark.
Well, of course it
Newark.
is.
Yes, Newark.
Yeah, but New Jersey. Okay.
Yeah, of course, it's New Jersey.
They you know, this would be interesting. I'll try and
Kylonia. Oh, hats off.
Kylonia. That's what it was. Kylonia. Yeah.
I mean, that's what you said, and I was just repeating it. I just find that hilarious because it's so. It's like they were ripped off by somebody posing to be a South Park character.
I have so many questions.
Okay.
So did they get money out of this?
Okay. Sister city. Just for those new to this, sister cities are agreements between foreign cities to form social or legal agreement between two geographically or politically distinct cities in order to promote cultural and commercial ties. There are plenty of reasons for them, but they're mostly just fun little cultural and social arrangements. The city of Newark, New Jersey apparently thought it would be a great idea to establish a sister city agreement with a city in the United States of Kailasa, USK. And the city's leadership was hard at work to make it happen. Newark Mayor Ras Baraka, who has a 6th grade education, pushed hard for the partnership, and it was eventually passed and even got a ceremony to celebrate the partnership, only to discover no such nation exists. Newark officials apparently thought they were getting involved in a cultural and trade deal with one of India's emerging independent Hindu nations, one on an island off Ecuador. But in reality, Kailasa is a fake. I think that's embarrassing. He didn't do this background research before entertaining that, says Newark resident DJ Simon. No kidding. A spokesman for the Newark's mayor's office tells News 12 that as soon as they learned of the circumstances, they immediately took action to cancel the sister city agreement. It was almost a week later when they discovered it was a lie. I didn't discover it for a week.
Does anybody there know how to Google?
What is the United States of Kailasa? The Hindu nation was declared established by a man known as Nityananda, a Indian refugee. He was a Hindu priest, but following charges of rape and abduction, he fled India and has remained in hiding since 2019. Recently, he claimed to be developing an airport for aliens. I shit you not. Kailasa has no official territory, though there were at one point rumors that Nithyananda had purchased land off the coast of Ecuador and was using that to establish his nation. However, Ecuadorian authorities have since said that no such Hindu island nation exists. It gets even weirder from there. Nithyananda launched the Reserve Bank of Kailasa in August 2020 and released its official gold currency, the Kailasan dollar. He also announced that travel to his island nation would be available for those seeking to visit him as soon as he gets the money to buy the island nation. They would need to travel to Australia and then travel via private charter. No reason why they would need to travel to Australia was given.
There's
and
this
picture. The religious leader has said that travel to Kailasa was suspended during the COVID-19 pandemic. So at least he's a responsible leader.
Oh my God.
And I love what Newark City Hall said. They said, although this was a regrettable incident, the city of Newark remains committed to partnering with people from diverse cultures like Kailasa in order to enrich each other with connectivity, support, and mutual respect. What?
I mean, the website he set up is awesome.
I love this. They went out and interviewed people on the street. Whose job was it to do a simple Google search? Newark resident Shaky Merritt asked in this interview with Cielo Shaky Merritt. Shaky Merritt, is that really your name?
He's going to be the new comptroller of New Jersey.
Shaky Merritt, yeah, right.
I'm an accountant. He came up with a brilliant idea of Googling the damn place.
Oh! Is Johnny here? Johnny's here. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm sorry. I missed the pop there.
Funny.
All right. So anyway, we're just having a good laugh over the situation in Newark, New Jersey, signing an agreement with an island nation. Did you have a picture of this guy? Oh, there it is, Harry.
There he is.
I heard the airport for aliens and kind of was drawn in by that.
Oh my!
Well, I thought
that's actually him. That's actually him. I watched the video of the Photoshop where they took this, and he poses this way, and then just stops, and people take his picture, and then he poses some more. He's like a bodybuilder posing in Hindu scriptural ways. He's trying to imitate what they call the Lord Krishna. He's trying to Krishna here, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see him do Ganesh.
Yes.
Yeah, grow a fucking trunk. Let's see that.
I'm not sure he might really not want to, given this guy's past.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this guy is just, he's the hero New Jersey deserves, as far as I'm concerned. It's a totally reprehensible. It is in the basket of deplorable states, along with California and New York. Sorry, Harry.
It's okay.
I love it too.
I found some more information on this guy.
Show us, bud.
Well, as of I think 2019, he actually fled India. So it says right here, the UN has said it will ignore statements made by the representative of fugitive Indian guru's fictional country at two official events. He was dealing with the UN back then. People representing the United Nations of Kailasa had attended 2 UN committee meetings in Geneva in February. UN officials said their submissions were irrelevant and tangential to the issues being discussed. Self-styled guru Shemp is wanted in India in several cases, including rape and sexual assault. Shemp, who claims he founded the United States of Kailasa in 2019, has denied the allegations against him. I know, self-styled guru with allegations of sexual misconduct. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
Gee,
who would have meant, form your own cult. So
Haven't you been waiting for Joel Osteen to be arrested? on like trafficking or something.
Do you think Joel Osteen has pictures of what's that guy's name? The Jeffords guy, the guy in southern Utah with the fundamentalist, and all the whole town looks like him.
Yeah, he's his own grandpa.
Yeah, he is his own grandpa. He's his own grandpa, he's his own aunt, right? Let's see.
That song. I dug up that song
Warren
recently.
Jeffs.
Yeah, Warren Jeffs. That's the guy's name. Warren Jeffs. Yeah, there's the boy. And
he's got tiny shoes and tiny skeletons.
No, he is.
You're still presenting Nithyananda Shemp.
No, I know. I'm actually.
It amuses him, I think.
Here just for a second. Going to show.
And they worry that cousin marriage is still available, and first cousins can still marry in Alabama. It's not the greatest idea, but it isn't the problem that you've got with that dude.
That is a shallow gene pool.
Oh my God. He is his own grandpa. He's married to himself.
Yes. That's one of his daughters he's married to.
That's like his drag alternative.
Mm-hmm. And look the picture of all of them is just
it's a
absolutely
cult. It's a cult.
It's sick. It is absolutely sick. Let's see. There we go. Take a look at that.
I wonder what his fake country is going to be called.
His fake country's going to be called. Yeah.
Douchistan.
Come here, little boy.
Oh, wait, is that?
I want to see him in an orange jumpsuit so badly.
Now, don't get that confused with the national anthem.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I almost said something.
Scary guy. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, you've changed your name to Nithyananda.
Temporarily.
Thanks.
I like that. Nithyananda.
Yeah.
I wonder what.
And this is his sister, Mithyananda.
Yeah.
Ship. I like that drawing, Johnny. That's really.
It's
actually
nice.
That is, and Camel has one that matches. Actually, St. Fugi's kid drew this.
That is spectacular.
And it's really well done.
It is. It really is. It's perfect. It's just perfect. I was thinking about that meme where the federal agent is so upset because he's infiltrated a chat room. It's day 138 or whatever. And he finally lost his temper because every time he tried to suss out these white nationalists, they'd say, "Stop your Fed speak," or this, that, and the other. And he got mad enough that he called them Riris. And everybody started yelling, "I am," as if it were a retard, as if it were their proper name. "I am Legion."
We are many.
The person who posted this is a science fiction writer on Facebook, and her replies for the last month has had at least one person yell, "I am," in it. I'd love to change my name to that, but I can't because New Susan gets upset.
New Susan. Is that what we're saying now?
Well, instead of Neil, New Susan's a better name.
Yeah. Susan 2.
The part of the
Tucson.
board. Tucson. That's it. Tucson. There you go.
That works.
Harry sounds like he's a little tired.
I'm very tired. I was up at 4:30 this morning.
You did the Harry's tired giggle.
What were you doing at 4:30 this morning?
Working. Can't really say exactly what I was doing because it's a little niche and it would make it too easy to dox myself. But I went to sleep at, I don't know, around 1 and woke up at 4:30 because I had work to do.
That's
sad.
That's Navy level work. That's
Yeah.
Navy level effort.
Well, I had an important meeting at 10:30 a.m. and it just needed to get done.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's
Sea level smooch or?
No, there were no sea levels. Well, there were some VPs, but no sea levels.
they're never,
I like Johnny
they're never
Hellcat's drawing too.
There are never any sea levels at important meetings.
Sometimes.
We'll see.
That's an old programmer's trope.
Once in a blue moon.
All the important stuff gets done by the grunts. The important meetings happen among the people who do the job, and of course, it's not true. It's absurd.
You're not wrong
but
though.
it's a fun thing. It's making a point about
a lot of the work is done by the trolls in the basement.
That's less true now. I think Harry would agree with me, maybe, that it's less true now of programmers taking just, a lot of discretion and doing things the way they want to. There's a lot more standards now than there were in back, say, 1985, 1990.
Yeah.
What you're doing, Sarbanes-Oxley has an impact.
Well, that's true in financial standards. I was actually thinking more about coding standards, but that's a great point too.
Well, the interaction
that exists
between,
too.
well, when you're writing
Dodd-Frank
when you're writing for a company, Glass-Steagall, when you're writing for a company that everything is going to factor through to the financial at some point, it can get a little rigid with what you can and can't do because of, the company Cree worked for was not that large, but they had a guy that, was promoted quite significantly to a director who was their SOX enforcer, basically. He had to go all around the world to every concern that they were involved in and make sure everyone was compliant. And at times it was like talking to a brick wall. He was like, some people get it, some people don't.
Yeah.
He enjoyed the travel. He got to see some really interesting places. They'd been wasting him in his intelligence at the help desk for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they needed a guy to handle this stuff, and he had the quals. Just life experience all over the world. Well, at least all over this country, doing all kinds of amazing things, not to mention understanding human psychology.
Oh, I do have camels.
Because of the persuasion that you have to use to get people to comply with something that on the face of it can seem silly.
Like complying with due diligence requirements for banks like Signature Bank didn't do. The one that Barney Frank is on the board of. Is
he really?
Barney Frank is on the fucking board.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
Dodd-Frank. This is Barney. This is that Barney Frank.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I know you know, but I just saw anybody who's listening. This is the Barney Frank of the Dodd-Frank. Let's watch these financial institutions really closely.
He was the one that said everything was hunky-dory right before the bottom fell out of the subprime.
Yeah, he said in an interview on Monday that the bank's failure had come as a shock to him.
Of course it did, because
it always shocks Barney.
Mm-hmm.
He was a congressman from Massachusetts. Ended up, I believe, representing the district I used to live in.
Really?
Everybody was just wildly proud of that. Hashtag sarcasm.
Yeah, but Barney Frank is a smart man. That's the thing. He's a really bright guy.
He's a deceitful fuck, is what he is.
He's that too. He's evil. He's as evil and corrupt as they come. But he's he's intelligent evil. This guy is not Adam Schiff or AOC. He's
sly.
evil, brilliant. Yeah,
He's
evil,
sly.
cunning guy.
I'm not sure he's all that smart, but speaking of another douche nugget, there's Kramer.
The unflushable Jim Kramer.
Yeah, honest to God, how many more hideous prognostications is he going to make?
Yeah. How hard is it to be wrong more than random chance? You know, like if he was an SAT score, what would he be?
Oh, can you knock points off the 400 base?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love hate camels.
That's the full.
That is amazing.
Here,
The lighter and the flamethrower. The Flammenwerfer. Actually, it looks like a fuel can.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a picture of the thing that De La Haye's made for us.
Don't try this at home, kids. This is an illustration.
It makes me think of somebody who's lit the stream coming out of a gasoline, a gasoline fill-up handle. You know, and using that as a flamethrower, which I always thought would be, it's great as long as you don't have to go very far.
Or a jerry can.
It's not that portable. Yeah, it
looks like a jerry can.
It's a jerry can handle, you know, kind of a thing.
You need a donkey dick for that to make it really effective. No, sorry, you need the little spigot attachment.
I just like the cigarette hanging out of the mouth,
and the lighter's still lit. That's the best part. It's either that or he's holding a firecracker. I have no idea. Stick of dynamite, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he set his own hand on fire. We don't know.
It's like Jack. It's like
Campbell.
It's like Pollock. You know, you get your own meaning out of it.
I will indeed. That is really superb. St. Foogie's kid is good at this.
Yeah, he's a young one too. So I'm.
How old is the kid who did this?
I'm not exactly sure. I would say Camel might know either. I know he's brought it up before. I think he's maybe 5 or 6.
Good God.
He's 6. That's good. That's
Camel says 6 or 8. He's down there.
That's precocious.
Yes, it is. Not to mention the grasp of artistic sarcasm. If you get my drift.
Also, look at the angles of like the arm, the left arm.
Yes,
that's interesting.
And the lapels on the
almost suggests perspective.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I bet Camel wishes he could sit straight like that and bend forward. Though.
Yeah, I bet he wishes his back was that straight. I was just thinking that myself.
Yeah, I was wishing my knees would go flat to the ground, but they don't anymore.
Yeah, mine don't work either.
Nothing works like that, like it used to.
No fooling.
Remember when we used to be able to sit
on the floor?
Well, I was gonna say for Johnny's benefit, I'll say Taylor style. And stand straight up.
That offends me.
You know, by rolling up on your feet. Mm-hmm. The idea of doing that now, it just all I see are zeros at the orthopedist bill. You know,
it's funny because I'm getting to where like I'll sit like that, and then it's just like, well, enjoy it while it lasts because my legs aren't going that far anymore.
Yeah, it's really weird how your knees feel after you sit like that for a while. Once you get older, they're kind of like, don't do that again, please. You know, and at least one foot's gone to sleep. It's just, I used to sit for like 3 straight hours like that, wrapping presents at Christmas. Or my mom and I would play solitaire, double solitaire in the summertime. Sit on the floor, and my dad was like, get involved in our slap fest, as he called it. And I could sit, you know, all night like that. I could also sit with my legs turned the other way. The feet aiming back toward the butt, but flat.
I angered a PTA group by calling it native style.
Oh, did you really? I always heard it as Indian style.
I kind of, because I didn't want to because I heard that they tried to phase out Indian.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, I'll be more specific. I'll say native style.
Native style. And you upset the PTA.
And the PTA is like, you can't say that. Like, you're going to offend the kids. And I go, he is one. He can say it.
Yeah. I was like, what on earth is this? That's when you'd like for Camel to be able to beam into the room and say, let's have a little discussion about this, shall we?
Let's give you a brief history.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So I like that clip that's been going around. I think it's from, it was the Chief Joseph and a cavalry soldier. I'm not exactly sure who it is. It's not Custer.
Oh, no.
At least they don't think it is.
No.
But he pretty much is like, pretty much calling him out, saying, you didn't spring up from the grass. And it really irritates me when people see that, and you'll even see it from quote unquote native TikTok, bringing up spiritual shit, and it's like, you believe that as much as everyone else does. Granted, it's tradition, and it's it's important to embrace tradition, blah blah blah, whatever. But tradition and reality are two completely different things.
Yeah. That's
give me back my face, Johnny.
Uh-oh. There it is.
Camel is
the
here.
whole
Hey,
body.
Camel has joined us, and it's a party now officially. Hey, Camel, how are you this evening?
Actually, what it is it's an engine raid, honey, but we're fine.
I feel like death warmed over. I caught some kind of bug from one of the other cashiers at work, and just trying to ride it out. Otherwise, I would be at work myself right now.
Bless your heart.
But I get to come hang out with you guys, so silver linings.
Hope feel better soon, though.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as we're saying hello to everybody, I'd like to say hello to the people in chat and say hello to Tall Person is here. Assassin, of course, is here. And Green Badger, Cannibalistic Wizard. Good. K-Shul is here. And let's see. Oh, Shroom is here. TUES. And anybody else I haven't talked to. Anyway, welcome, gentles all. It's a fine Tuesday evening. We've got Prospero, Harry, Hate Camel, and Johnny Hellcat joining me here for our merry brand of conversation knots as we plumb the silliness of what it means to be a human being in 2023.
I see Harry circling the wagon.
All by myself.
So, Prospero, you never really told us what you were doing yesterday. Well, what have you been doing in your new home? Any interesting things? She has muted. Okay. So we will ask her about her home later on. I like the land of lakes. Yes, the idealized. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I sent my father a meme when they got rid of the Land of Lakes girl. I said, Land of Lakes. They kept the land, got rid of the Indian.
That's what.
And he's like, he starts going off about. I was like, that one just breezed right past you, didn't it?
Yeah. You see, there. why are we being so silly about race right now? What is behind that? I actually think it's there's a lot more information available, and it's getting talked about, and we're getting used to the idea that people can look different and not really be very different.
Johnny, would you like to take this one, or
No,
seeing as how we're the ones here that actually have race cards?
Mhm.
No, it's too stupid to answer. People are just up their own ass, and everyone wants to be a victim.
I feel like we got rid of bullying, and then the wheels started falling off.
Well, people stop hitting their kids, so
that too. When I started school, a bully was somebody that like punched you in the face and took your lunch money. And by the time I left school, I was considered the bully for saying mean words. True words, but they were mean. So we got soft. That's what it is.
Oh my God. Is that the minion tiger?
No, that's Shio.
I thought so, but I was like, thank God. So Shio's got his own alter ego. He's got two feathers.
I have
2 feathers.
I have a vast army of these.
Yeah.
He's got Shios for all occasions.
That's just amazing.
I have all the Shios.
So that stuff about shape-shifting folks among your people really is true.
Oh yeah, Johnny's a
good to know.
skinwalker. Confirmed.
All right.
I'm giving it like another 2 minutes before Mr. Yes is in here asking me about like how to speak Cherokee or something.
Choctaw.
Yes, I've made him aware numerous times. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Money is the language of the Choctaw. Trust me.
I'm not seeing any of it. So
yeah. I was gonna say the only time I hear a Choctaw is with the word casino. I mean, in Choctaw Casino gets advertised a lot in our market.
Well, you haven't listened to mine and Johnny's streams enough. Otherwise, you'd hear about shitty healthcare too.
Yeah.
And then there's the song Choctaw Bingo. Don't forget about that.
And the beer.
Mm-hmm. And the
because we do like to
Southeast Alabama, Southeast Oklahoma, Northeast Texas methamphetamine tree.
We do like to lean into those stereotypes down here in Indian territory.
I wonder if Joe Biden thinks that the Choctaws invented the chocks that go under airplane wheels and also chocolate.
I think Joe Biden has no idea that we even exist.
I think he thinks we invented pool chalk.
Could be.
Or maybe chalkboards, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. We have a country that's led by two substandard lawyers. We have a guy who graduated 12th from the bottom of his of his law school class, and a woman who was coddled through law school and still couldn't pass the bar. Where did we get the idea that these two were the most brilliant people? The two best.
They weren't
people.
Trump.
Yeah, they weren't Trump. That's all they were. So do you guys think Trump is going to run successfully? Do you think the Republicans will nominate him, or do you think they will snub him and give the nomination to DeSantis? No matter what.
He'll blow it all up regardless.
Well, DeSantis would have to decide to run, first of all. He's got a pretty good gig right now.
Yep.
I mean, he is doing stops in Iowa though, so that's kind of the precursor, right?
I believe he's going to run because I believe that he thinks that the iron is hot, and the other thing is he can make peace with Donald Trump instantly by simply saying, "I'm not running this time." There'd be a love fest, and he could likely help get Trump elected if that's what he wanted to do. But I think he's got it in him. He wants to run this time because he thinks this is the time he can win.
Well, yeah, I mean, because like his term would be up 2026.
He just has to beat Biden. he thinks he can beat the shit out of Biden.
He just got reelected, right? So what, he's got another 4 years as governor.
Yep.
So
that's okay. They've got a stable in Florida behind him.
Yeah, I was going to say, is like if he doesn't run this time, what's he going to do for 2 years to keep his name, keep his name recognition up to run for 20?
A lot of bad things can happen to a governor. Governors have real jobs. They most governors have real jobs. It's not like being in the Senate. Not like
If
being
he was going to
AOC.
get
You got to run a
derailed,
place. Yeah, exactly.
If he was going to get derailed,
Poison train.
They'd have used Ian. I mean, they tried. They've tried. They're trying with Disney, and I'm like, that's not a winning strategy with the base you're trying to persuade away. That isn't it terrible what he's done to Disney? Disney sat on a sweetheart deal for 50 years.
Yep.
More than 50 years, almost 60 years on that land in Florida.
They were fat, dumb, and happy.
The fact, it's risible that Disney can't be self-sustaining without the state of Florida's gimmies to them.
They can be. They just would rather get the gimmies, but
yeah, but Universal isn't getting those gimmies. A lot of other things are.
They don't have to have the gimmies, but
and now,
who doesn't like a good gimme?
And Keith Olbermann, God bless Keith Olbermann,
Scientology
wanted to. I mean, he suggested it's funny. There was a whole thread where Larry Correia was ripping on him for this. He suggested that Disney should pick up and move to another state. As if
get right on that, Keith.
Were financially possible.
Can you imagine how much that in itself would just cost?
You don't move something like that. You reconstruct it in someplace else.
Yeah, and the land
you
alone.
Cannot economically move that stuff.
Well, but basically he was saying acquire that kind of land. And
right.
Okay. I hate to break it to Keith, but let's say Disney did that. Let's say they were sitting on a treasure trove we didn't know about. And they could afford to, I don't know, move Disney World to Iowa or someplace.
To get that
if
kind
you
of
build it, they will come, Prospero. I've been reliably informed.
If you get that kind of a land deal, you got to go to someplace like Yuma, Arizona.
Well, that's what I mean.
Haines, Alaska.
Too close. Yuma would be too close to Disneyland. But what I'm saying is, let's
maybe northern Maine. Northern Maine's
just
nice.
Imagine they could do it. Okay, let's just imagine they could do it, and they're doing it in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Central location. Does he really think them leaving is going to cripple Florida? Because do you have any idea how much that land sitting there outside of Orlando is
fast that would? Do you know how fast that would change hands? It would be instantaneous.
Universal would probably buy it and say, "Fuck this being in town business." It would be developed. There are golf courses. There are, I don't know how many lakes on that property.
New Adventureland.
It would be totally developed within 10 years, increasing the actual tax base exponentially. But there's Keith. They should move. They should pick up and move. Dude, they're laying off a bunch of people. What does that tell you about Disney's bottom line right now? Why do you think they brought Eisner back?
Because they're going broke?
Because they're hurting. He held the mouse together for a good while.
I don't think Olbermann's had a lick of sense in them since.
Oh, he hasn't. He's just a spittle
2004
turd flinging howler monkey. But
a turd flinging howler monkey.
Spittle fleck. Don't forget that.
I mean, he was he was obnoxious. He was obnoxious, too obnoxious by half when he was just squawking about sports ball. So
Yeah,
Glasses wearing Sentinel pile.
Yeah.
Just go full nuclear on him.
Yeah.
I have a prediction for you, since I think Skep wants a prediction.
Sure.
Imagine the following scenario. Okay. Biden, as the election grows closer, turns out he can't run. You know who's rested and ready? Hillary. Hillary steps in.
Didn't I say that about a year ago?
It goes, it's Hillary versus Trump. DeSantis VP. Trump makes a deal with DeSantis to step down at just the right time that DeSantis gets 10 years.
God. He won't be good for 10 years. That's the problem. The process of being president affects different people differently. And I think DeSantis will start off good and go bad very quickly. He'll be a good president for one term, and then we're gonna have to see if he learns what he needs to learn, or if he just goes to hell. Yeah,
it'd be like W.
Yeah, I have no idea if he'll be a good president or not,
and then get co-opted by the old boys in
the
party.
He has executive position in a place where the governor has some real power. You know, Governor of Texas is a toothless. It's the second highest executive position in the governor of Texas, next to the lieutenant governor. And the reason for that is the lieutenant governor of Texas is elected independently and is in charge of the railroad commission and doesn't report to the governor for it. Where the legal ball stops in the railroad commission. The railroad commission controls all of the oil exploration in Texas. And don't ask me why, because it's a long. Why the railroad commission? It's a long story, and it's not that interesting.
It was land. It was probably land acquisition.
It was all land acquisition.
It was all the land acquisition law. And
who did they have to go to get permission?
The railroads to drill.
Bingo.
Because they owned vast swaths of land. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's I knew it's a logical progression. You know, people will look at something and go, "It didn't make any sense." And it okay, now first off, look at the state of Texas. Second off, consider how much land the railroads own and why they would. They would own all that land because of how much cattle was moved out of Texas for years and years and years and years. A highly, highly lucrative bit of money for Texas was beef and produce and cotton in part of the state. Then they found oil. What's going to be moved by rail? Oil.
Absolutely.
Build the refineries down in Texas City. Move that oil from anywhere in the state using those railroad easements. Also, the railroad easements. Looky here. There's oil on this one.
Just
we need to buy it from the railroad.
The trains to tip over.
Of course, then we got the idea to build pipelines down here in Texas, and
then you litter
the rest, as they say, is history. But
but it was rail to begin with.
But it's exactly how it started. Exactly right.
And it's it's why railroads are still so powerful in this country.
Oh God,
is the amount of stuff they can move. And people get freaked out. They're like a 220 car train. And it's like, yeah.
That's how railroads work.
That's how they work. They have multiple engines, and that's how they move your shit from California to the Walmart where you buy it. They take it to a depot. A guy backs up a big rig, and off comes that container. Plop, off he goes. Plop, off he goes. It's just like a port. It's amazing how little people understand about the transportation industry. Like you were talking.
Most people really have no idea how their stuff makes it to their home.
Yeah, but it's ferries bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, those avocados you're buying?
Well, enough about Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah. Yeah, the poor, South Bend, Indiana. Yeah, there is a metropolis just teeming with opportunities to learn about transportation across the United States. Yeah, there are 1,000 train derailments a year, at least, in the United States. Most of them are not multi-car.
Most of them are one car.
Most of them are one car. Sometimes with like a 220 car train, you might get 20 that come off the rail.
Actually, a substantial number of them are like little yard
accidents,
engines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that they'll be hauling a car over here, or a little segment over there in these underpowered engines, and either the engine itself will come off tracks, or more frequently one of the some old car that's in bad shape will come off.
And weather has a terrible impact on soil, as we know, which will cause rail to buck and heave. And there is a lot of rail to cover.
Especially when you have
keep in repair.
Especially when you have like a very hot day and then it gets like a flash rain.
Yep.
Of course, that's going to affect your.
And you have
those tracks were put down in 1870. They'll be fine. What could go wrong?
Well, I mean, they're worked constantly. I don't think people understand that. They are worked constantly by these big haulers. You always, there's some crossings in the Richmond area that frequently you'll see one of those little ding, 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 ding cars where the CSX guys riding the rail to check and make sure it's okay. And they'll stop and double check the signals, and they'll stop and they'll kick something back into line, or drive another spike or something like that. Yep. And then ching.
Did you ever see them in those little train trucks that it's a truck you can drive on surface streets that has a set of 4 railroad wheels?
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what I'm talking about. They're little ding, ding, ding cars.
And I've noticed recently.
I always wanted one of those.
So do I. I of all the jobs that you could have on the railroad, to me, that would be.
I want one of the hand cars.
The old fashioned.
But no, I've noticed recently because there's a line going through my town. Maybe it's just because it's been in the news a lot, but I noticed like they've really got the let out with repairing the track.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we don't want to be like Ohio, so let's go ahead and bust this out.
Yeah, and Ohio has rough weather. In varying parts of the state, they have rough weather, and it's stuff happens. All right, it is. Look, nobody has covered themselves in glory on this. The governor hasn't. The president, the FEMA certainly didn't. Norfolk Southern is not covering themselves in glory. Everybody's running around pointing at each other instead of taking care of the people of East Palestine.
Well, nobody knows what needs to be done.
Right. Evacuating the people of East Palestine would be like the smart thing to do, since you are seeing so many health problems. It's very difficult to relocate people, but if you need to move them out of the town, you have to do this. You have a crisis decision to make, right?
You probably have about 1,500 people who would need. What I'm saying is they think they would have to relocate about 1,500 people.
And
that's doable.
Yeah, that is doable. That you're not talking about moving 30,000 people.
No.
This is a hotels around a metro area, bus transportation available to and from your homes to gather things, or the hazmat people will help you gather things.
Well, it's between Pittsburgh and Youngstown, and I mean like 20 miles.
Yep.
Away from each one of those, or 30 miles from each one.
Yeah,
there's services. There's plenty of stuff that could happen. They need to make. I hesitate to prescribe anything, but I really hate to see people suffer like this. And they have no effective representation. They're not going to get anything from the government. And I guarantee you that Biden is letting this look. Yeah, that's what Republicans can expect. So if you want, if you actually want some help, don't be the community that votes against me.
Well, yeah.
I think in his diseased mind, he thinks that's a good thing.
Oh, I think fair number of people in his administration are just like every Stalinist or fascist out there, in that you either play ball with us or you don't get no goodies, which means we won't come to your aid if your town burns to the ground.
Exactly.
And the politicization of emergency aid is a very, very good way to get people to fall into line. Just like panicking people about their health in other ways was a very good way to get people to fall into line.
Prospero, we almost lost our government. We almost lost our nation to a highly organized bunch of, these were not hooligans who took over Washington, D.C. They took over our nation. Mm-hmm. They machine gunned policemen in the streets, killed many of them. But remember, belief is a choice.
Yes.
You have to choose to believe good things.
Yes. Yeah, it's
physical occurrences, they influence us, yes, but we don't have to believe them. We can choose to believe different things by simply rewriting history. I'm here for it.
It is pretty gobsmacking.
I got to enjoy all the good history. You kids go ahead and rewrite it. Prospero and I will take the history we have and just steal off into the gloaming.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck y'all.
Fuck
you, kids. Oh my lord.
Fuck you, you little shit. You've never been surfing. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
I just keep that on speed dial now.
I was just gonna say, keep that one handy. That's it.
I love that meme.
Let me get
that. Just cheers us up every time we see it.
No, Skep, speaking of people storming capitals, I put a tweet in from Andy No in the side chat. Couple weeks back, we had in Oklahoma, the Capitol got stormed. Didn't quite make as much news.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, look at these winners.
Oh my God! What is going on the one on the right? That is like what
are you showing? Oh, there's the link. Okay.
Yeah, just a link.
Those are crazy eyes.
Those are like meth eyes. I haven't slept in 2 weeks eyes.
Honestly, just based off of personal experience, I would peg the one on the left as being the meth head.
Well, yeah, with the skin.
And the hair.
And the hair.
The one on the right is just
she's
unfortunate looking.
Pissed.
Yeah.
Constant state of being awake.
Wait, what are you guys looking at?
The link that I put in the
side chat.
I can show the picture.
Here we go.
Yeah, you can show the tweet. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
holy shit.
If I had the sounder of the Friday the 13th stab thing, that would work perfectly.
That's one of them.
Me.
That you're thinking Psycho, not
is it Psycho?
Right, that's Psycho. Yeah.
Okay.
Let
Gotcha.
me get the other one up.
The Friday the 13th it's just like
wow.
Kill.
These two people are hurting cowboys.
Both works.
Yes, these two are part of the group that stormed the Capitol because of the governor signing a bill to stop medical transition for minors.
Well, that's a healthy case of acne.
And they assaulted some cops. and their bail was covered. I don't know by who, but apparently somebody shelled out the $5,000 for their bail.
I was, it's funny. I was muted because I was sneezing again. God damn it! And I said, "By whom?" And you said, "I don't know who." And nobody could hear me, but the timing was scary. It was like, "Fuck, he can hear me."
But the follow-up tweet from Andy No says that leftist lawmaker Maury Turner allegedly harbored one of them. And
prior to the assault?
Afterwards, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay. Before they were arrested?
I don't know. Like I said,
that's usually what harboring a fugitive, you think of it that way, not after they've been sprung on bail. Although
I think my guess is it's probably like a hit and run.
Mm-hmm.
They probably swung on the cops and managed to get away in the fracas.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't realize like there's cameras everywhere in today's world, so it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, and they're just going to run you through the DMV and match the pictures.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to be mistaken for somebody else. They have very unique
Distinct
features.
Well, yeah, and the picture of the one on the right moving through the halls, those eyes are just as crazy there too.
This is like a bad remake of Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
I could totally see them recasting Gilligan's Island right now and have the one on the left be the skipper and the one on the right be Gilligan.
I was looking at Maury Turner's Twitter profile, and intersectional community organizer and representative of Oklahoma House District 88, fighting hard as hell for our communities. Not a woman. Like they got the they them pronouns. It's like,
oh, so
it's come to Oklahoma.
Multiple personality disorder. I'm a they. No, you're not.
Well, see, the thing of it is like this kind of shit only flies in Tulsa, Oklahoma City.
Of course, because they're university towns.
Well, it's because they're the urban centers. You get outside of Oklahoma or Tulsa County, and we're looking at you like you've got a dick growing out of your forehead. When you say they them.
Yeah, I keep trying to figure out whether it's like half of them. It's like Norman the campus, Norman not on campus. How different is it, or is it different over in Moore? Like if you just that blurred line from Norman to Moore, because it's like
I spent more time in Tulsa than I ever did in Norman or Oklahoma City or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you'd have to ask Travis Gardner about the Oklahoma City metro area.
Yeah,
he's more familiar with that than I am, but yeah, all that once you get out of Tulsa or Oklahoma counties, I'm willing to bet you because like we just had a state question, like 88 or something.
Shit don't happen in Muskogee, does it?
No. Yeah,
or something that's Stillwater.
Stillwater probably would, yes, because that's OSU.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So I mean, okay, Payne County, Tulsa County, Oklahoma County. Once you get out of those three areas, and again, once you get out of Stillwater city limits, they're like, yeah, go fuck.
I was going to see just outside of Stillwater. I'll bet they're.
Yeah, well, and there again, like Stillwater, that's when school's out, the population drops
nobody there
dramatically.
Yeah.
You're talking like 20,000, 30,000 people up and gone. So, right. But no, this representative, she's Oklahoma City, if I'm not mistaken, and like I said, we just had a state I want to say 88 or I can't remember the exact number they had. It was an off election that they had last week. Well, it's not an election; it was a referendum or whatever. But they were going to try and get recreational marijuana legalized.
Mm-hmm.
It failed because it only gained any traction in Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Everywhere else is like, no, fuck that. I mean, we don't want that. And I mean, we already got medical marijuana, and the process for medical marijuana, it's so, it's so ridiculously easy. It might as well be
legalized.
Yeah. It's already pretty much decriminalized. I literally got my medical marijuana card by using a Ron White joke.
Oh my Lord.
I walked into the doctor's office, sat down in the chair across from him. He says, "Mr. Camelson, what's the matter with you that you need medical marijuana?" I said, "Well, doc, I get kind of bummed when I run out of weed." Well, it sounds like you have depression. Yeah. Depression. Okay, check. Like, how about sleeping? You have any problems sleeping? It's like, I mean, I sleep just fine. Sometimes I have a little trouble getting to sleep. Oh, insomnia. Okay. What about any like aches, pains? I was like, I mean, I'm in my 30s now, so starting to get, like, oh yeah, arthritis. He just laundry list. Like, if that actually went into a medical chart, like, you would think that I was completely crippled. I'd be on disability, 100%. But no, it's just, like I said, it's a joke. And the idea that we need to go ahead and fully legalize just it's like, it's already recreational. You go into any dispensary, at least in my area, nobody's like, oh, well, how's this gonna help me sleep, or how's this for arthritis? And it's like, hey man, how high is this gonna get me? And yeah. So unfortunately,
your congressman Hearn is a pretty impressive guy. He worked at Rockwell International while pursuing a PhD in astronautical engineering at Georgia Tech.
I'm unfamiliar with him.
Yeah, he's your congressman from Tulsa, the 1st congressional district of Oklahoma.
Oh, so that's fine. I'm in the 2nd.
On top of that, he has an MBA. Smart guy.
He's in the 2nd.
Yeah, I'm in the 2nd congressional district.
Oh, you're in the 2nd. I thought you were in the 1st. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I think Tulsa it kind of splits because, like, I mean, 2nd congressional district is pretty much the eastern sliver of the state. And
correctional.
Yeah, I used to be
congressional.
I used to be represented by Mark Wayne Mullen, and I think now
I remember Mark Wayne Mullen.
Yeah. I didn't vote for him because he's an idiot. He flat said one time that there was 4 branches of government. It's like, no, sir, you just disqualified yourself. And then he grew his Chuck Norris beard and decided to go to Afghanistan after he nearly shot himself on January 6th. So.
Oh, good God. I got on Twitter. I'm so sorry. President Biden posted a letter from some girl in Charlotte that wrote it in pencil.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of misspellings. And we're reduced to that shit out of the White House.
Johnny's used to me scrolling Twitter while we're on stream.
No, I gotta stop. I really gotta stop.
Can I just say I hate the setup for Twitter.
Which part? Oh, the following and for you.
The following and for you thing.
Yeah, give me back the latest timeline, man. Just give me that back. I just want to see it in chronological order from newest to oldest. Let me scroll that way.
Yeah, you're supposed to set up your own notifications and you're supposed to set up your own following things. And it's supposed to be more tailorable to your interests. But I'm like, that sounds like work.
Also, I don't like the notification settings because I've got all notifications from verified users, and then my mentions. It's like, what do I care if somebody that's verified, responds or does this or that?
Yeah, especially since the blue check means zip now. Really,
it didn't mean shit to me before. You could pay $8 for it, so why would I care now?
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it really doesn't mean anything. I shall be right back, gentlemen.
Hey, Skep, I got a question for you.
What's up?
South by Southwest, wasn't that like a festival in Austin or something?
Sure is. Yeah, it's a
Why is
music
the
festival.
CIA there?
They like good music. It's some of the best music in the world. The CIA is there. The FBI is there.
Apparently, they had a panel
for the
South by
Wagner.
Southwest.
They what?
They had a panel. They had the Spies Supercharged panel. The CIA had people sitting there talking at it.
At South by Southwest.
Yes, the CIA's Twitter account. Hashtag South by Southwest. Thank you for coming to see us. We had a full house at our Spies Supercharged panel. Thank you to all who attended, and a special thank you to our panelists who shared their views on hashtag CIA and emerging technologies. And then they've got like
Holy shit,
six
right.
different. They've got 6 different like hashtags trailing at the end.
Here's from CIA's top tech leaders on the future of intelligence and technology. Talk with CIA officers about exciting career opportunities and engage with CIA officers to learn about industry partnerships and how to take over small countries. Ha!
Turned down for a job with a better 3-letter agency? Apply here.
Want to go out and see the world, do a little external policing?
Math score's not quite up to it. The CIA's got a spot for you.
Exactly.
Is your math score's not good enough for the NSA? Come join the CIA.
Oh,
I miss
fine.
the days when I thought recruitment for the CIA was like that movie with Al Pacino and Colin Farrell, The Recruit, where he just walks up to the dude like at like, hey man, gives him a card, sets up a meeting. He's got a newspaper there. It's like he's got like an advertisement for like a special sale, and he's like, well, who are you? Who do you work for? And he just circles the CIA and special. But then you find out it's like in the internet age, like, no, you can just go to their website and put in an application. It's like, ugh, really? Like, I was hoping for more cloak and dagger.
Yeah, a lot of what the CIA does is, they have a tremendous amount of intelligence to process, and the back end processing of that intelligence is most of what they do. The stuff people think of when it comes to spying, going out in the field and handling field agents is that's a minority from the standpoint of manpower in the CIA. At least that's what I've already heard. So is
that's
that real, Harry?
Right there.
Harry,
I don't know. Is anything real? As far as I know, it might be real.
What?
It's a good fake if it isn't.
Like I said, that's an IQ test if it is real.
Yeah,
you want to try it.
No, wait.
I don't.
The wire's coming off it. That's too obvious. Okay, I get it. That's just some fun.
Well,
that's just some
it's
fun.
not a Nikola Tesla charging station. It's not QI charging. It's gotta have wires.
Well, no, I know it probably has more wires than it needs for.
I've seen
charging stations. Exactly. I've seen charging stations that didn't have so many wires, and I wonder if maybe some of those wires are going to listening devices.
Yeah, I know places you can get charging stations for like 30 phones at a time. I also have a small device. That I carry with me that I can use as an inline filter that disconnects the data lines on that. It's the knock yourself out. I could plug my phone in and steal power without exposing any of the data.
So you can actually do just a charge on the pins.
Yep.
That and you block the data pins.
Yep.
The data transmission pins. That's actually a physical block too, isn't it?
Yep.
It's fun to share an evil laugh with you, Harry.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yep. You have to think
You're
about that for just a
it's
moment.
so cute.
It's one of the best clean memes I've got.
That's excellent. Oh, funny. Hey, wait a minute. Only 30 cents. I'm gonna round it up.
Okay, you should probably not have me share much anymore. I'm going to show you one more thing. I think that you sent this to Cree already, didn't you, Prospero?
Did you really name your son? I don't think so. Could you send that to me, please?
Of course.
That is wonderful.
That is glorious.
All right.
What is that? What is the name of that strip again, Harry?
XKCD.
XKCD. That's it. That's what I can remember.
You know, my
I should be able to remember that too.
Oh, Jenna's saying hello, by the way.
Oh,
surprise!
I know that this would be a meme that because when I was in college, I took a sequel course, and I know my teacher would have appreciated this one.
Yeah, Cree will appreciate that. Little Bobby tables.
Did you really name your Robert Drop Table students? I just love that.
Yeah.
Even with the syntax, right? Yes, we call them little Bobby tables.
Okay, it's very niche.
It's just for someone who has created and dropped many tables.
Yeah.
She's backstage, sweetheart. That's what I meant. She said.
Oh.
Side
You know
chat,
what?
side chat, private chat. You know. There we go.
She went on a second rank that disappeared off the bottom of my screen.
Oh yeah,
I see her there.
I had that happen.
I have the 5 filled up with you guys, and she showed up on the next rank, and you can only see like a little bit of it.
Yeah, underneath your mute start cam settings stuff.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. That's exactly what
I
happened.
felt so unloved.
No. I was about to send you a Discord message asking if you wanted to come on.
You sent me the link already.
Oh my fucking God, Harry. Every time.
You know, Harry, assholism is not attractive.
Yeah, I know.
You try it. The way you said it. Yeah, I know.
See, I've come to terms with my dickish nature.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Don't forget to send me that meme, please, so I can send
Okay.
it to me.
I'm pretty sure I sent it to you before, and you even showed it to him.
Okay, I'm not gonna search all the way back, for the love of God.
Sometimes I search on your thingies to get my children's names when they ask me my kids' names, and I have to say them quickly.
Mhm.
I go back to where you have all the kids' names, and I use that.
There's Madigan, Cadigan, Milligan, Gilligan, Duffy, McCuffy, Maliki, Malone, Rafferty, Lafferty, Donnelly, Connolly, Diddley, Holy, Will Downey, Malone. It's just...
I don't think I have any of those.
Yeah, you ought to learn. Oh God, what the hell's the name of that song? Come on, Skep. It seemed like only yesterday I sailed from out of Cork, wanderer from Aaron's Isle, I landed in New York. There wasn't a soul to meet me there, a stranger on your shore.
Yeah.
But Irish luck was with me now, and riches came galore. And now I'm going to dear old Aaron's Isle. My friends will meet me there and greet me with a smile. Their names are well assured, forgot, been so long away. But my mother will introduce me now, and this is what she'll say. Meet Madigan, Cadigan, Milligan, Gilligan, Duffy, McCuffy, Malaki, Malone, Rafferty. You know that.
Yeah.
Not a Tom Lehrer song, so you don't have to drink.
No.
I feel like I've heard that before, but the name.
Yeah, I mean, it's an old song, but I remember memorizing all the names. I've forgotten them now. That's just one verse.
Your old Donegal.
Thank you, dear old Donegal.
And Bing Crosby used to
Dubliners
sing
ever
it.
do it?
That's all I could remember.
They probably did. The
And
Dubliners.
that's probably where I heard it from, because like every now and then I
Or
go
the
on
Clancy brothers, somebody like that would have done it.
Bing Crosby made it famous.
Yeah.
every now and then I go on like a rabbit
Sang it
hole
at
where I
house,
listen
dude.
to like the Dubliners and some other Irish.
It's great
music.
stuff.
And if you can understand it, it's better.
Well, I mean, at this point, I mean, I've listened to enough Dankula and the Scots that I feel like I can get a
You
feel
can
for
handle
it.
the Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's
Unless
harder
they
to
start
understand.
speaking to you.
It was funny because
Scots than Irish.
I have a fairly decent ear for. Well, I wouldn't say I can recognize different accents, but I can at least, if somebody's got a thick accent when they're trying to speak English, I can understand them for the most part.
You decipher well.
Yeah, and it was really funny because like I had to, I work at a truck stop, so I meet all kinds of different people from, I mean, even in my little corner of God's nowhere, there are people from all over the world showing up, randomly. Like I had a 7-foot Ukrainian truck driver a couple months back. It's like, yeah, you're a pretty big boy,
They have 7-foot trucks.
And no, the truck driver, he was 7 feet tall because
he was 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
I thought the 7 foot was modifying trucks. Not okay, gotcha.
Well, you're talking to a guy from Oklahoma who went to public school, so grammar's not my forte.
Yeah,
but
she was always good to me.
I'm 6'2", and I'm sitting on like a 6-inch raised platform.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still looking up at him. I was like,
bro,
okay. But it was really funny because
what's the matter, bro? You suck at basketball?
Something. But on the flip side, there's this old shriveled up man. He comes in. He's wanting to pay for gas, and I understand what he's saying. I take his money, give him his change, make sure it's on the right pump that he was specifying. And he told me, he's like, oh, well, you most people have a hard time understanding me because of my accent. And like, you understood pretty well. I was like, okay, cool. Where are you from? Because I couldn't place the accent. He's like, I'm Russian. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, do you speak any Russian? I was like, niet.
Yeah.
And he thought that was hilarious. Yeah.
Spasibo, do svidaniya.
Nostrovia. That's all that that's all I know.
Yeah, it could be where she could have gone 9.
Oh.
My niece, when she was 2, used to call juice Jew, and she used to say 9. She'd go 9 Jew. And in public, it was kind of embarrassing because
I can't imagine why.
and we don't know.
You're racing a nice little stormtrooper, I see.
Yeah.
We don't know where she picked up the 9 for no. But yeah, 9 Jew.
I mean, I do use that for my Rottweiler when he's in trouble.
9.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Eva's not a Rottweiler. She's a little girl.
Oh, I was just saying, I
Grew out of
I have
it.
a dog that is a German breed, and I speak German to it when he's in trouble.
How much German do you speak?
Not very much.
I was gonna say. I was wondering.
But he's fairly well behaved, so like the only time I have to speak any German is to tell him no.
Is it more or less German than this?
Oh, holy shiz.
Less.
Lieber Mutter, I'm
That's pretty German.
ein Blumenstrauß.
That's so German.
I know.
That could start a war.
If Till Linderman hasn't said it, I probably don't understand it.
I should show you this while people still remember.
That is terrifying.
I
It's
love
really
that so much.
Indians of the Zoo does not endorse anything I do.
Oh,
That is just plain wonderful.
Oh wait, that's
yes.
Bookfoot.
Lori Lightfoot.
Look,
Yeah.
foot.
I knew she had a foot in her name.
Well, it would have been funny if you'd said Lichtfoot. Just in keeping.
Let me see that for a second. That's what's funny is the clothing that they're wearing. That's what just makes this really special. Is the
don't be a
robes
dick.
and the Oshkosh by gosh.
That says
outfit.
Don't be a dick on it instead. That is good Photoshop work.
Yeah.
Oh God, Michael Keaton is so funny in that
I'd
movie.
cross the sidewalk if I saw those people coming.
Okay, that's E.T., Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice Junior.
Yeah, exactly. Little Beetle.
Yeah, Beetlejuice would flip you out, Jenna, which is a shame because it's a funny film. It's got some really entertaining moments in it. And then
Keaton is great in that movie.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Oh,
My kids have seen it. I haven't.
Synonym
I
roll.
can't do.
Yeah, those look like proper.
Just like
synonym
grammar
rolls.
used to make.
Just like, yeah, I love the replies. The Twitter's a whole lot more fun now that Elon's on it more. He really has made it much more entertaining.
I've noticed that like the bot followers has slowed down, but I keep getting message requests that are spam. I didn't get that before.
Yeah, I get a lot of those. Didn't you love Olbermann trying to get people to mass flag a comment Elon made?
Yeah, send Obi's army after him.
It was so funny.
How'd that work out?
You do know what Elon's been doing. One of the things that instituted at Twitter was you false flag people's accounts, you lose yours. You engage in false flagging, mass reporting, your account gets nuked.
I don't think Quiz would appreciate that one, Harry, but I enjoy it.
The power of Chrysler compels you.
Somebody stole his catalytic converter off his Jeep.
Oh, did they really?
Oh,
yeah, like a month ago or so.
Oh, God. You're having the worst
about
luck with cars.
He's been
He
feeling
had
the
the
rage.
Mini and that whole thing. Oh, God, and now.
I think Jenna yeeted herself.
Back in.
Oh, yep.
Here we go. Got you, Jenna. There you go, girl.
I'm kind of in the middle of a nor'easter. So.
Yeah, we noticed. You're lucky you guys aren't getting buried down there, though.
Is it snowing up there?
Good God, Skep.
Is it snowing up there, Jenna?
I can check. It should. We're having high winds and crap, and
You don't have to look.
I'll look. I like Skep
I'm just
enough
curious.
to look.
Well, it's you know what Jenna's reaction is to snow.
That's what we're going for.
Yeah. What, the nightmares and the PTSD? That's what we're going for.
Yes, it is snowing.
That's what I was afraid of. Well,
Yeah,
at least now you know.
Actually, though, the Cape doesn't look like it's going to get battered by this. It's interior New England.
Oh yeah. When there's a possibility I might have woken up 10 right before I got on stream, and when I went to bed in the morning, it had already changed to snow in Worcester and stuff.
Yeah.
And they had gotten 7 inches already.
Yeah, they're going to get a lot more. Western suburbs of Boston.
Yeah.
Like toward Worcester, North Shore probably more than the South Shore.
The town they're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is phonetically Worcester.
Worcester.
Yeah, it's pronounced Worcester.
Worcester.
Just like Worcestershire sauce. I think the British have it right. Just call it Worcester sauce.
Worcester sauce. Yeah, that's what I would call it growing up. That's what I thought it was called.
I have known how to say it my whole life because I guess I found the bottle fascinating even as a kid because it had the paper wrapping.
Had the paper on it. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it tasted interesting.
Yes, it did. I love Worcestershire. My mother used it on a lot of things.
It's funny. Of course,
some on top of hamburgers if she was like frying them in a skillet.
That's what we used to have. My mom would put it on hamburgers, and it was great
it was
stuff.
the seasoning for it.
I'm
Yeah.
not too proud to admit that I pronounced it the same way Polly does. Long before I ever met him.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. Go for the whole
string
thing.
of.
Yeah, it's like
every syllable.
Well, it's really funny too because I mean, it's Worcester, Mass. It's Worcester, England. It's Worcestershire. It was Worcestershire before Worcester and it became Worcester and Gloucester or whatever they turned that county into. I have no idea, but they, the English dicked around with their shire county system and created new voting counties and all that kind of thing. But it's an easy word to learn to say when you break it down phonetically. But I've known people like with Massachusetts, they have trouble saying it. They say Massachusetts. And I would say, can you say achoo, like mimicking a sneeze? And
yes, I have seen Robin Hood Men in Tights.
And then it would be like Mass achoo sets. Now put it together, Massachusetts.
Men
And it was like, okay, that's your shibboleth. It's fine. Yeah, I got it. Oh my God, is that Barry Gibb?
No.
It looks like him.
But probably a member of his fan club.
Yeah, I was going to say, because that looks a lot like Barry Gibb. He was the more masculine looking of the three of them.
Of the brothers Gibb from Australia.
Yeah, Morris and Robin both were much more delicate looking.
So was Andy, for that matter.
Oh yeah,
the jumpsuit suit makes it.
Boy, the fair-haired baby child,
cocaine addict.
Well, it took his life. It took his life away from him. Sadly,
yeah.
He was far too young. Far too young.
He was really young when he died.
In today's age, we don't say addict, we say enthusiast.
Yeah,
those are some strong genes.
Not a soul between them.
Oh,
enthusiast. He's a cocaine enthusiast.
That's what my hair looked like. I didn't have glasses, but that's what my hair looked like when I was a kid. I mean, it was just how it grew out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Mom's had hers done that way.
You have the hair shafts are shaped like ovals instead of circles.
Yeah, I'm a nappy-headed little kid.
I'm old enough to remember when people still had perms.
I used to have to get a perm to keep mine from turning into the unmanageable fro from the Death Planet. It was a way of processing my hair. It's to put a perm.
Did it turn into a blonde Jew fro, or did it just go crazy? Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could have been a yippie.
Abby Hoffman era.
Yeah. Oh God. I mean, Angela Davis, look out.
Yeah.
If I'd picked it, I could have gotten one hella going. But
yeah,
I was too busy with oh my God, the dippity doo and the curlers and the bonnet hair dryer and that kind of bullshit trying to smooth my hair out.
Didn't you wear a silk cloth?
What?
A silk cloth over your hair.
To do what?
Yes.
It makes it more manageable.
No, it doesn't. Honey, I am a nappy-headed child.
Well, I'm talking about Emma. She and the boys.
You know what makes it manageable? Put a lot of conditioner in it.
Yeah. Well, with Tommy's hair, he has. Skep's seen him in a video where he has
Which one? I'm sorry.
Tommy.
Okay. Yep.
He has those kind of short dreads. They're just and
locklets.
Those take forever, but that's how he wants his hair styled. So that's what we do.
Yeah, I don't blame him. If that had been something little white girls could do in the 1960s, it would have been a delightful thing for me. That
That
looks,
just makes me happy.
that looks like my kitty head. That looks like my little cross-eyed lunatic Loki doke. He was trying to come in here and be such a little cute little riggy pig, but apparently it frightened him that I was talking to the air.
Now, is that a calico cat, right? The asshole cat. Is that considered a calico?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Domestic short hair with calico.
Yeah.
I mean, calico covers a pretty broad territory. That's probably a tabby and a calico cross of some kind.
Yeah.
Because Loki's got kind of tabby looking back fur.
It's not a purebred asshole.
He's got the green eyes. Oh no, he's not purebred, obviously, because of his cross eyes and poor little guy.
See,
And he's got cataracts. He's 4 years old and he has these cataracts.
A cat can get cataracts?
Oh yes, indeed they can.
Cats invented
very
cataracts.
catty,
Where do you think?
but,
Where do you think the name comes from?
Well, that was
invented
right
them.
after they invented the catamaran. A cat named Hobie was like, "Why don't I get a couple
It
pontoons?"
was when they were living in the catacombs.
And yes, off
That's
Catalina.
near Kathmandu.
Is it in the Catskills?
Yeah, Catalina Islands in the Catskills, and that's
From
for the
Kathmandu to the Catskills.
Goddamn Catalina wine mixer.
Catalina wine mix.
No, when it comes to animals, like I can sit there and parse out different breeds of dogs. Like my paternal grandmother, used to sit me down with the old encyclopedias that they had from my dad's childhood, and we go through all the different dog breeds. It comes to cats, I'm like, it's gray. What kind of cat do you got?
It's gray.
Yeah. So obviously we skipped the C in the encyclopedia section and we went straight to the dogs.
Yeah, pretty much everybody that I've dealt with in any variety has been a mutt.
There's a very small amount of cats that I can actually pick out and be like, I know exactly what that is.
I have one. Of the many
What's
cats
that?
that I have one. It's a Maine Coon.
You can pick out Maine Coons and Sphinx pretty easily. Maine Coons because there's the size of small cars, and Sphinx.
I could tell a Siamese cat and
Oh,
a
yeah.
Persian. I
Persians look like somebody
a lot
hit
of
them in
them
the face with
majors.
an iron.
Well, yeah,
They're the
Yeah,
pug of the cat world.
but there are many subbreeds. I mean,
Burmese, the Burmese cats and the Seal Point Siamese versus the other. Siamese are so vocal that they can be really annoying. Really annoying.
I just think it's a good thing cats are poisonous.
Stop it.
I've been bit by some cats. I'd be a dead man.
Well, that's because
I almost killed a girlfriend's cat in front of her. I almost took this cat and strangled it in front of her because I wanted to break up with her and I wanted to kill her cat.
Oh, I've been using the same dad joke every time since even when I was a kid. Anytime we had a cat, if it scratched me, it's like, I think I've got the cat scratch fever.
Oh my God.
I feel ill. I feel, touch my forehead. Am I warm?
I was 7 or 8.
I'm going to send Ted Nugent to your house.
Yeah, don't go shaving off one of your eyebrows.
When I was 7 or 8, my aunt moved into an apartment that didn't allow pets. So somehow I was taking care of Sebastian, her cat. Motherfucker bit me. When she moved up the street from me, Sebastian would go up the street, or he would go to both houses, and my mom broke her leg chasing the cat out.
Oof.
My uncle Kevin could hear her all the way up
She
at
broke
his house.
She broke the cat's leg?
No, she broke her leg.
Her own leg.
Oh, broke her leg. Okay.
Yeah.
My uncle, she screamed so loudly. My uncle Kevin, who was up the street, like 4 houses, heard her scream and came down to see what was the matter. And let's just say he had some kind word. She had some kind words for the cat.
Well, that was big of her to put it aside and be.
Did the cat
nice to the cat.
trip her?
I don't know. All I know is my
Yeah, bingo, Harry. Johnny. Sorry. I never know who's going to meme.
Well, I was looking at another meme, and for a second I thought I'd accidentally shared it. I'm like, no. And then I'm like, okay,
Sorry.
this one's fine.
Yeah, that's me. That's me in a nutshell, right?
Yeah.
We will, of course, expect to see the other meme after.
Oh,
the
you
show
will
here.
not.
No.
I'm going to send it to Prospero, though. I mean,
Oh, dear God. Yeah, no, you're not going to
Send
see
it to
it.
me too.
Oh God, I love both of them.
I never want to be left out, so
You
send it
still
to me.
haven't sent me the computer one, though.
I know. I scrolled past it. I have to go back later.
The Al Dante is awesome. That's magnificent.
Oh, here's a cat
Terrifying.
meme that I had completely forgot about.
Uh,
God of that black.
you're bastards sending me stuff I can't. Oh yeah. Oh my God, that's terrifying.
It is.
Especially the look on the chick's face in the back. You can just tell she's like full of the sincerity.
Yeah,
Oh,
when
yeah,
you
she's
see him
totally
blissed
into it.
out like that, the music is never good.
No, it's usually just sucks.
When you see the guys hunched over the guitar and concentrating, that's usually good music. You know.
So how much weed
Yes.
would I have to consume to make that bearable?
Is there an amount?
Pound or two?
I was
You
gonna
trying to
say
make the cat into a bear?
all the weed. I'd feel so badly for that cat.
It's SOS and for help.
Hey, it's just help, please, God help.
No, Johnny, that is a thing that a man does when he desperately wants to get laid. That's the only reason for that scenario. And the thing is, her cat knows better.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the guitar he has, I believe that is a very expensive guitar. It's probably
Playing
way
it wrong.
beyond his abilities.
Well, he's playing it wrong.
Well, he's playing it up toward the top. It looks like he's making a major chord, probably a C or a D major chord. It's hard to count the frets. I think it's a
Choking
C.
the shit out of it.
Going
Yeah,
that
but
high,
well,
it's
he's
not
making
a guitar.
he's making that C grab up on 7, and you know, okay, impress the girl with your fancy chord. It's not a beginner's chord, but
She looks like she's plucking a violin.
She's doing her
She
best impersonation of
plucking it.
Linda Eastman.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's plucking a violin.
And
That's-
she's singing.
that's
It looks
okay.
like she's singing.
It's okay if you can do
what a musical mind.
I'm seeing this, and all I can think is rah rah Rasputin.
it.
The thing of it is when you get a few people who can really play and they sit down together, it sounds pretty good.
Mhm.
It's pretty fun.
There's
You
a
know.
group of guys. They call themselves the Barnstormers here,
Mhm.
and they call themselves that because they
Are they a cover band or a tribute band
no,
or
they get together at the barn. 4 dudes, sometimes a few more people join them, and just play guitar. And a lot of the times they're just working off their chord books, but they're working on learning new songs.
Mhm.
And they invite people to come in and listen and sing along or whatever. And it's kind of neat because one of the guys, the guy who kind of is the leader of the pack, performs rather regularly for events. And I went over there one Sunday because a friend of mine does it, and she had texted me and says they're going to be practicing this Sunday at the barn, coming over. And the whole time, I thought how much I knew somebody named Frank in Texas would love this. You know, just hanging
I
out
would.
with you guys.
Absolutely. I love that so much. Just hanging out with people who love to play as much
You
as
know,
I do.
and that it was, you know, a case of it went from Last Dance with Mary Jane to This Is Dedicated to the One I Love. They were having a fit with that one. That was one of the new ones they were learning. Gone to Kansas City, here I come.
Yeah,
You know, so it was
So
got some crazy little women there, and I'm going to get me one.
Yeah, it was kind of all over the place. Because when I came in, they said, "Is there anything in particular you like? Any style of music you like?" Which I thought you would find funny. And I was like, like what? Soup to nuts, bro. It's just
Harry.
Yes.
I love this so much. Ariel and Times Roman.
Yeah.
And it, you know, I put in, you know, where are the serifs?
New Times Roman.
Where are the serifs, right?
Every time
If you know the difference between Times Roman and Ariel, you'll understand that.
Yes, because
where are the serifs?
they're
Camelicious camel milk powder.
Mm.
Is that really a thing? I mean,
I believe
you
so.
could fool me. My goodness.
Individual sachet.
Ew.
Wow.
I bet it smells.
At least Harry didn't pull up one of the adverts for Camel Walls.
That
Yeah.
is
Don't give him any ideas.
evaporated camel milk.
Just like Mom used to make.
In a bag.
Ew.
What do you mean, ooh, Jenna? I'm sitting right
I
here.
think
Come on.
I think I have.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I read the funniest tweet today. It was in one of those YouTube things where they're running through a bunch of tweets. Funny things that people had said, and somebody said that after their husband got a vasectomy, he referred to his semen as pulp free. And so she was looking for a good divorce lawyer. Oh God, I just thought I
Oh my.
So, Camel,
Yeah.
how long did it take to milk you?
Oh my God. Okay, I'll be
Are
right
we
back.
really going there?
Well, you're the one that took, you know.
Send him a magazine and he'll get back to you in a minute.
Gotta.
What does it mean that the Bee Gees are Manx, not Aussie?
Manchester?
Were they?
Isn't that Manx?
I guess they were from. Were they from Manchester, England?
Were they Mancunian?
They're Manchurian candidates.
Let's see where the brothers. I thought they were from Australia. I could be wrong.
Staying alive.
I gotta be honest. I've kind of stopped paying attention to the different. I mean, I know.
Isle of Man. Isle of
Isle of
Man is
Man.
where they
Okay.
were born. Oh,
Gotcha.
I had no idea. Born on the Irish Band to English parents, the Gibb brothers lived in Chorlton, Manchester, and blah 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 blah. They moved to Redcliffe in the Moreton Bay region of Queensland, Australia, and later to Crib Island. And that was in the 1950s. So they were born in England. They moved as children to Australia, evidently.
Isn't that kind
And
of
my
like
parents
AC/DC?
weren't alive.
Weren't like Angus and Malcolm Young? Like, weren't they like born in Scotland and moved to Australia, something like
Yeah, or were sentenced
that?
in the case of the Youngs, because they're kind of crazy.
What's really
Don't do that.
That was an actual clickbait ad that I saw. I made a screenshot of it.
one of my customers, he's got a YouTube channel and he does like
Oh,
fishing
God.
stuff.
Harry. Harry.
I'm not kidding. This is a thing I saw online. It was clickbait. I saved a screenshot of it. I didn't make
You
this up.
idiots are gonna try that.
Yeah. Well,
No. Keeps your
You
engine
wouldn't
clean.
believe how stupid people are, Harry.
this is me. This is me. I am the pedant. I am the pedant who points this out. I cannot stand it when people confuse less with fewer. There are times you use fewer, okay, and that's when you can count things. And when you can't count them, like grains of sugar, then that's less or more. When it's
That's good
grapes,
punishment.
when it's 10 grapes, you can have less or fewer. But if you have if it's sugar, it's less and fewer. They do different things. They mean different things, and I wish we could keep that distinction. But I'm hearing people just using them interchangeably, and that distinction, the power of language, it loses just a little thing that it used to be able to do, a capability.
It joined its
gets a
friend
little
literally.
smoother. Yeah, it joined exactly in the
Sometimes
bastardization cage.
Sometimes I'll generally confuse, like further and farther or less and fewer, lack of sleep or, like currently I'm, kind of sick, so not thinking as straight.
Matching
and sometimes
the
I do it just
intelligence
to
of
screw
someone
with
you're
people.
talking to.
What?
Or you're matching the intelligence of someone you're talking to.
Or sometimes I do it just to screw with people like Skep, who I know the difference and might, wind him up a bit.
I love this name so much.
The one that really sends me into orbit is hopefully we'll be there by tomorrow.
I am.
That
hopeful.
means you will arrive with hope in your heart, right? Yeah. I hope that we will be there by tomorrow. It's different from hopefully.
Yeah.
We will be hopeful as we get there tomorrow. It's just what you're saying when you say hopefully.
I do it all the time, though.
I
know I do it all the time. If I change it, I say I'm hopeful that fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Just hoping that thunder that just went by doesn't mean we're going to lose power.
Oh, you hit thunder?
Yeah.
Oh, yay, thunder snow. Lovely. That just means somebody's getting dumped on. And you're hearing the reverb of it.
That's not how bananas grow.
It is not how bananas grow. Another piece of clickbait I took a screenshot of.
You put on some Frank Sinatra tunes. That's how bananas grow.
I feel like we're on the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
Oh, Gray says
skirting around the censors.
Skep. Yeah. Gray says there are less of you to argue with the rest of us.
There are fewer of you.
Thank you.
He said less, though.
It's fewer.
I know.
I'm just telling you what he said.
It's still fewer.
Fine. Gray meant to say there are fewer of you to argue with than the rest of us.
Yes, it's fewer. For the love of God, it's fewer. Poor Crate.
Ew, there's a
He'll
snake.
slip
There's a
and
snake.
say
There's
less.
a snake.
No, it's a unicorn.
That is a snake.
With a mohawk.
That is animal cruelty.
This 123-year-old photo has sparked theories. I bet
How
it has.
dare you? Oops, I just snorted, but yeah.
Love us finishing each other's sentences.
I loved the
you could do something with somebody in a prison.
Yeah. I love that the Krasensteins basically were standing for Epstein just to own Trump.
I know. I saw that too.
If those two
I commented on that.
Cannot make it, I swear to God, I'm so glad they're back. I am so glad. I mean, it's low-hanging fruit, but glorious fruit.
I saw a tweet earlier that they were praising Jimmy Carter which is all well and good, but the way he
Didn't he die?
He's in hospice. He hasn't died yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
so he's
not
working
dead.
on it.
Yet. He's Francisco Francoing his way out.
It's pending.
Yeah.
Yeah,
poor
they've
guy.
got a shipping number for him for the afterworld, but it hasn't been received yet.
Well, my question
Hope it
is,
isn't FedEx. They'll just freaking lose him.
Yeah.
is Biden gonna know how to handle a death of an former president? He's gonna be like, "What? I died?"
Yeah.
The only thing I like about Joe Biden being president is you can use that old joke about Ronald Reagan.
Mm.
You know, like
Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
no. There's I can't remember which comedian it was that he had a joke about like when the newspapers finally started talking about Ronald Reagan having dementia.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "How do you think that, Ronald Reagan reacted to reading that in the paper? Was like, fuck," or was it like, "Hey, honey, did you hear Ronald Reagan has dementia?"
Yeah. It's peculiar about that because the announcement, of course, that he had dementia was a letter he wrote to the American public.
He wrote his own dementia letter?
He wrote his off into the sunset letter.
His farewell.
It was in 94?
Yeah, around then.
Yeah.
90s, early 90s. Ronald Reagan had
it. Was a very moving letter, and it was in his voice. He wrote with a distinctive voice. If you read any of his letters. God almighty, that is not
gonna give me nightmares.
Terrible.
Hey Johnny, I missed the
Is that Will Smith and Jada?
Supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah.
I missed the viewing. How was the Chris Rock thing?
It wasn't bad. It started off pretty good and then kind of pandered and lulled in the middle, and it would have been meh at best had it not been for the closing, which was him bringing up the slap.
Mm-hmm.
I saw like one
what
clip
did he
on
say
Twitter.
about the slap?
He called Will Smith a bitch repeatedly.
Well, yeah, because he slaps like a bitch.
Well, he who slapped somebody. You punch.
Well, the way it went is because when the whole thing was going down, he mentions in the stand up that he reached out to Will Smith, but he wouldn't return a call. And so everyone in, I guess what you quote unquote the black community was essentially calling him a bitch, and it built up so much that he picked the one person that he could actually hit. And essentially, he's like, "Well, that's just a big bitch move, if you ask me."
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the only clip I've seen of it is what was floating around Twitter. I was like, "That's not really funny, man." Like, it was like a minute and a half or something like that. I was like, I remember, Chris Rock probably would have had like 2-3 different punchlines in a minute and a half back in the day.
Punchlines, or
he got smacked so hard his brain rattled, so he's working on.
Honestly, I haven't found Chris Rock to be funny since probably like the late 90s.
Yeah.
So.
It's not like Chappelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle.
Chappelle's like the Energizer Bunny.
I've never not.
And Chappelle lifts, so if he had been hosting, Will wouldn't have done shit.
Oh my God! If he tried,
Dave is a fan of the sweet science. Mm-hmm. He would have pieced Will up.
It wasn't just the alopecia joke. Will's got a lot of pent-up things about that whole relationship, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
that was Will Smith snapping. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Didn't she sleep with her son's friend?
Yes.
Yes, because in an open marriage, and it's okay, and it's okay with him. You see,
but I thought she's the only one that can sleep around. That's not allowed.
Yes, he's a voluntary cock.
Well, and he had the audacity to be interviewed about it. by her.
No, it wasn't the Audacity. It was
the red table thing.
like, she wears the pants, and she pretty much told him, like, we're going to talk about this with a camera in front of us.
Yeah, it's just she is.
It's hard to imagine a
she is a
relationship that's
detestable individual.
Yes, she is.
She's Meghan Markle. She's
low class plus money. Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah, Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle, good example. Same thing.
The Harkles. You know,
Meghan Markle.
Remember, they got together in the 90s when he was like at the peak. Fresh Prince.
Yes.
Independence Day, all that stuff going on.
And had all the fame and none of the maturity to match it.
Sucked the chrome off of a trailer hitch back then.
Yep.
To justify that relationship.
But he had all the wealth and all the attention and not the maturity.
And you know what? He's got a son from before he and Jada got together. And I have to, I've not seen anything about this guy. It's a son named Trey, which tells me that child of his is actually normal. It's like Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
They've got Jack and Kelly with Sharon, but he's got another, I think,
Amy.
daughter. Yeah, he's got another daughter. And when their MTV reality show was out, she came out and said, like, that's only for the cameras. Like, when I was growing up, they were parents. They didn't let us do this kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like Trey Smith is like Amy Osbourne, lucky enough to be born to a wealthy parent or parents, and also doubly lucky that they didn't go through the three-ring circus that is the celebrity of their parents.
Yeah, because
they got to come out like kind of normal.
Are insane, in my opinion.
Ozzy's not exactly.
Well, no, I meant Will and Jada's.
Oh, yeah. Ozzy and Sharon are not as nutty as most people think. They're actually, in certain circumstances, come off quite ordinary.
Yeah, they played it up for the cameras.
Yeah. And was it Jack who was following him around when they brought Ozzy to see the Louisville Leopards, the kids percussionist group, and they were doing Crazy Train, and I swear to God, he almost jumped up and planted his hands on his knees, like Charlie Brown does at the Christmas tree at the end of a Charlie Brown's Christmas. That's exactly what it looked like. He was like, oh my God, look at these precious little children. Look, it was one of the most endearing things I've ever seen Ozzy Osbourne do.
That's
he
sweet.
Was so smitten with these kids. And percussion is difficult enough. These kids do like really complicated songs on vibraphone and drums and that kind of work.
What is the name of the
Louisville Leopards?
Louisville Leopards.
And it's for ages 6 or 7 to like 13 or 14, and that's it. I mean, I heard them do. They came to my attention because Jimmy Page put them on blast because they had done Kashmir and 2 other Zeppelin songs as a kind of montage. But you know how syncopated Kashmir is. That da 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 da. But this is a bunch of like 6, 7 to 13, 14-year-old kids, and they nailed it. Well, they were doing the same with Crazy Train, and Ozzy would just. It just looked like somebody had handed him all the bouillon. But I mean, these kids doing Kashmir was one of the most amazing things I'd ever heard.
There they are at their.
Oh, and they did Immigration Song.
Oh, I mean that would be awesome.
Yeah, Kashmir, Into
Into
the Blue or something like that, and then Immigration Song.
Immigration Song has
Immigration
such a
Song?
great rhythm to it.
Yes.
You
Come
know,
Don't
from the
Come
land of
Get
the
Out?
ice.
that driving rhythm at the
We come from the land of the ice and snow. With the, but it's the single funniest video I've ever seen of Immigration Song is the cats, the animated cat video where they're wearing little Viking helmets, riding in a longboat.
Of course.
Along to immigrations. It's just perfect. Absolutely perfect.
By the way, Trent Reznor's cover of Immigration Song is the best. It's I would never say it's better than Led Zeppelin, but it is as good.
Oh, the
And
immigrant
really worth. Trent Reznor, love him or hate him, he's a musical. He's got a tremendous musical mind, and that's one of the best covers I've ever heard.
There was an ad running during football season, and it was a cover of a Zeppelin song, and I now can't remember which song it was, but it was so pathetic. It was so pathetic. Every time I heard it, I was like, "Stop."
Well, when you mentioned that Jimmy Page was talking about the kids, I was going to say after he let Puff Daddy do what he did to that song, he has no right to say anything.
Yeah.
And Skep, you're talking up Trent Reznor.
Immigrant. It's an immigrant song, not immigration song. Sorry.
Yeah,
Immigrant Song. Yeah, yeah.
Do that every time.
But he did have a Bob Dylan moment with Johnny Cash, kind of, and I thought that was it raised my respect for him. He's like, nah, man, like that's his song now, pretty much. Talking about Hurt.
Yep.
So. He's like he yeah, that's Johnny Cash's song.
Yes,
I wrote it, but it's his song.
Yeah, he just did such a good job with it. It's
yeah. All right. Well, with the recognition that bananas are berries, I think we're all winding down. I'm winding down. I'm exhausted, and we've been doing this for 2 hours, so I think it's about time to wind it up. But I want to thank chat for coming out and supporting us and listening to us, being a part of this. Appreciate that. We do it for you and my panel, Prospero, Harry, Johnny, and Camel, and Jenna. Thank you for joining me on this 2-hour journey into fun. It's not broadcast excellence, but it's fun, and we do it every Tuesday. Come back, join us Saturday also for the Harry channel version of this. We see many of the same performers coming to you for your broadcasting delectation. But for tonight, the zoo is closed, and we're going to end it